Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Two Kids in a Book. My name is Phoenix, and today my co-host Jason and I will be attempting to solve the Cain's Jawbone murder by Torquemada. Written in the 1940s, this mystery within a book has only been solved by 4 people to date. Jason and I intend to make it 6. Let's jump in.
Page 27!
Page 27.
Okay.
Supposedly.
I have seen day after day, every sunlight or night, obscured detail of the funny old house that I visited many years ago. We have a funny old house.
Possibly childhood home?
Childhood home?
Question mark?
Childhood... We know nothing about this.
Wait, where's the thing that I had for Ruth? Where's the pin that I had for Ruth?
Just use this
Oh,
one.
thank you.
This one's so much better than the thumbtacks I have. Okay. Through it, handsome
There you go.
forgot how to pronounce this.
Let me see.
Cadaverous.
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 Should have known that since I was in Adams. Cadaverous and so quiet had walked Death himself, tapping unnoticed. They capitalized Death as if it's an actual person, tapping unnoticed at the very walls
I'm
of the
gonna write that down. Possible personification of death.
Literary devices. Here you come, Torquemada.
Literary devices. We're getting somewhere.
Tapping unnoticed at the very walls of the mansions of life, trying here, failing there, lightly fingering for the sign of a breach, a tiny opening. So are they being literal about this? Is he finding a tiny opening in this house?
Maybe. Or perhaps he's talking about that he's on his last leg and Death is trying to find a breach in his defenses to fucking kill him.
I don't even know anymore. Apparently, the person who slept in the lockup at the county town on the Severn, or perhaps woke, would hear this time. I had found that I could face my usual mixture of Peaberry Mysore and Blue Mountain. Look that up. It's capitalized. I think it's a brand.
Let me see.
Peaberry Mysore.
Okay. Where is this? Okay. Bear. For the listeners, P is spelled, Peaberry is spelled Peaberry, and then Mysore is spelled Mysore, in case you want to look this up yourself.
So exactly how you would say it.
Oh, it's already been looked up. I have Edgar's signature Peaberry Mountain, Blue Mountain Peaberry blend.
What is that?
Our most BlueMountainCoffee.com.
Oh, it's a coffee brand?
Our most popular brand, Edgar's signature Peaberry blend, is a blend of authentic Jamaica Blue Mountain. Okay, what is this? We need to look into this company now, because are they riffing off of this book?
When was it made? That's the thing. Because this was... Hold on, what's the time date? The 30s?
Yeah, this is the 30s.
1930s, in London.
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah.
And this is an at least decently advanced website. Copyright 2023.
Okay. Well, he said that I had found that I could face my usual mixture of Peaberry, Mysore, and Blue Mountain. It sounds like a medicine, you know what I mean?
It does. What I'm wondering is if this coffee brand is riffing off the book, or if the book is riffing off the coffee brand.
But this was published in the 1940s.
I think no. Okay, so this is coffee. Seeds are soft. It's such seeds as peaberry coffee. Seeds are soft, semi-translucent, bluish or greenish color, hard and tough in texture. Okay, so yeah, this is a type of coffee.
But is Peaberry Mysore coffee?
Yeah. It's, and then it's Jamaican in make, apparently. Jamaican Blue Mountain Peaberry Coffee. Apparently this is a very popular blend because there's a lot of websites for it.
Wow. But it sounds like it's a jam. The next sentence after this says, I had made certain havoc of 2 on toast.
What?
Their silver skins laced with their golden blood. Do they have golden blood and silver skin? This is another personification on coffee.
Yeah, it's just coffee beans, man.
Jeez.
It's not, like, they could be described as maybe a golden color. Look at this. Like, that picture, they might be described as, like, a bronze or a gold.
Yeah.
But definitely not silver.
Okay, to think of the tiny Clem mix-up, nay, a prime
Well,
mover
actually, green
in
peaberry.
such affairs. Useful, courteous, little chip of a bat. He had hushed my brat for me when he was only 6, one morning on which I wanted to go out for a walk. The narrator has a brat. So like a child?
Apparently. And what does he mean by hushed? Did this kid get killed?
Clem.
What the fuck?
It's Clem. So to think of the tiny Clem mixed up, nay, or a prime mover in such affairs. Useful, courteous, little chip of a brat. He's referring to Clem because that's the only other person here in this page, had hushed my brat for me when he was only 6, one morning on which I had wanted to go out for a walk. So it couldn't be a child because he was only 6.
Turkamada, what the fuck?
I don't even know. See, the first murder mystery we ever solved together, I'm wondering if we made the right choice making it the hardest of like centuries.
I know. This is.
So
you're right.
We're done with page 27. What we figured out is that there is a Clem.
Yeah, and also possible personification of death. And I'm gonna write down Peaberry Mysore and Blue Mountain Coffee.
Oh, I already wrote that in the notes section.
Okay.
But you can give it to me so I can pin it.
Yeah. Did you mark the silver thing? The silver and gold blood thing?
I didn't because I don't even know what that is.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down because that seems important. I'm also gonna make a note of hushed my brat, because what the fuck does that mean?
I don't even know, but there were 6 when I did it, so.
Oh boy.
So maybe the narrator knows Clem when he was a child.
Who is Clem?
We don't know. This is the first time we met him.
Should I make a thing about Clem?
Yeah, make a thing about Clem. We first
Okay.
meet him in page 27. He's hushed up the narrator's brat, and he's tiny, because he calls him Tiny Clem. We also don't know his last name, which is just fun.
Is Clem the kid? Is Clem a kid? Is Clem a child?
I don't know. No, Clem couldn't be a child because Clem was hushing up the narrator's brat when he was 6.
Well, what if this is a case of parental neglect and Clem had to learn how to take care of children?
No, not when Clem was 6, when the narrator was 6.
When the narrator
When
was
the
6?
narrator was 6. See? So it can't be a child.
This is so confusing.
Oh, wait, no. He had hushed my brat for me. Oh, I thought that said when I was only 6. It was when he was only 6.
When he was
is
only
a
6.
child.
So Clem is a child.
When he was only 6, but he's talking about past tense, so he's got to be older than 6. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna write
he's older than 6. According
older
to
than
page
6?
27.
Probably.
According to page 27.
Or is the brat he hushed 6?
Put that down too. I don't know, the way he writes is so confusing. You never know what person he's talking about.
I can edit it out if you'd like.
No, I'm okay. Let everyone hear the weird noise I make. Okay, page 30.
Page 30, ladies and gentlemen.
I see that the old dandy had purchased a Cape Jasmine. Cape Jasmine, it's capitalized. Can you look it up?
Yep, also Old Dandy. Make a note of that shit.
Cape Jasmine. It sounds
Okay,
like a tea.
capitalized.
Cape and Jasmine. That's exactly how you spell
Okay.
it.
Cape Jasmine.
Sounds like a tea. I'm betting on tea.
It's a flower.
Oh. Do you make it into tea?
I don't think so. It's
Oh.
very pretty, though.
Let me see.
What? It's like a gardenia.
Oh, that's so pretty. Cape Jasmine, which is a flower. So
for the listeners at home, it's a white flower that looks kind of like a gardenia, and it's got like very waxy dark green leaves that are really rounded. Look it up if you want to see pictures. It's really pretty.
So the old dandy bought white flowers. Who's the
Okay.
old dandy? I don't know.
Old dandy, doesn't that normally refer to like an old man? I'm gonna look that up.
Well, I'm going to read the next part because it's kind of interesting. Your gardenia is difficult at a distance to determine. It may
Yep,
be
old man. Very fancy old man.
fancy old man.
Also refers to a type of single barrel Tennessee whiskey. So that's also that thing. But yeah, it's fancy old man. There are so many mentions of a fancy old man in this thing.
A lot of old men in this story.
Does Turgamon have a thing for old men? What's going on?
I don't know. Even if he did, I don't think it would have been appropriate to say in the 40s. Your gardenia is difficult at a distance to determine. It may be Florida, Flor pleno double white. Can you look that up?
Flor pleno double white?
FLORE hyphen PLENO.
FLORE hyphen, what was the second part?
PLENO.
PLENO. It's another type of flower. This one's weird looking.
Let me see.
Look at it.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's pretty, but it's weird. It's got like green bits in the middle.
Another flower. So he's referencing a lot of flowers. I don't know why. Ready? Here's the next part. Why should I care? I am a very sick fellow. Gardenias. And there are also gardener's garters, Valerius autoconsina, variegata. I am not at all well. He is clutched unwillingly into greeting old Mrs. Cape. So he's sick. The old dandy bought him flowers, and he's comparing flowers to other flowers that he thought would be more suitable to give him. He doesn't think Prick Cape jasmine is a suitable flower to give him when he's sick. The narrator is sick.
The narrator is also a selfish asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. So the narrator is sick. I'm writing very weirdly right now.
Do we have a thing on the narrator, and should I write down that he's a selfish prick?
Well, no, we don't have an index card in the narrator.
We should have an index card on the narrator.
On the narrator. Narrator is sick, says page 30.
Okay.
So, Valerius Ardenicea variegata. I know some of these flowers. I don't know all of them. I am not at all well. He is clutched unwillingly into greeting old Mrs. Cave, our local dame, quickly. Okay, they mince at one another. Yes, by James. James? Lo, how these fair immaculate women walk behind their jocund maker. And we see slighted the mobs, and that far different she, Gracie the trivial sphinx. We uncommiserate, pass into the night from a loud banquet. Sorry. She urges me into the American mess. I wolf 3/4, thinking of Quebec. Then I try her out, saying, with an airy lift of the spoon, this savours not of death, this hath a relish in eternity. Excellent, my dear Watson, but the leopard's eyes do not bat a blink. Can she be guilty?
Did he actually say, my dear Watson?
He said, my dear Watson, and at the end of the page, he said, can she be guilty?
Okay, this is big.
This is big.
This
okay.
is, so he suspects, what was her name, Mrs. Kate?
No, Mrs. Cave.
Mrs. Cave. I'm going to write that down.
Let's analyze this, sentence by sentence. Yes.
Mrs. Cave. Mrs. suggests that she's married.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to read the rest of
Possibly to the old man.
Yeah, the old dandy. I'm going to read it sentence by sentence if we're going to analyze it. Yes, by James. James, lo, how these far immaculate women walk behind their... How do you say this? Can you look this up?
Yep. What is it? Jocund?
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 I don't know.
Jocund? I'll look it up.
A lot of old words that I am not familiar with.
Yep, same. For context, ladies and gentlemen at home, and others, I keep forgetting to say and others, we are two high school students and don't know shit about old people speak.
Nope.
Alright, what was the word?
Gocund.
J-O.
Oh, Jocund. I said that.
J-O-C-U-N-D. Okay. Oh, it's... Okay, what is this?
Images.
Okay, so, yeah. Joking... cheerful and lighthearted. Learn to pronounce. What is this? Oh, it's jocund.
Why?
It's jocund. I don't know.
None of us were right on that one.
English is weird, man.
So, lo, how these fair immaculate women walk behind their jocund maker. And...
Is he calling God cheerful?
I don't know. And we see slighted de mobs. Can you look that up?
Okay, hold on. I
De
forgot.
mobs. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
So the narrator is comparing all the jocund makers women to de mobs. D-E. It's capitalized D-E.
Okay, hold on. D-E.
Space, capital M-A-U-V-E-S.
M-A-U-V-E-S. Okay, what is this? Madame de Mauves is apparently a book.
It's a book.
Madame de Mauves is a novella by Henry James, published in 1874. Fits the time period.
It works.
This is not, for context, people at home, we worked on this for like 4 hours a couple weeks ago, so we've already gotten through several pages, and this is not the first time the narrator makes reference to a literary work of
He's very educated.
He is very educated. Of the late 1800s and early 1900s. We're placing this storyline because he mentions World War I a little bit. We're placing this storyline right around the 1930s-ish. I think right around or right before the Great Depression. And it's a whole thing. So he also references poems a lot out of nowhere. And you have to, match up the poems sometimes because they get cut off by certain pages. It's a hassle.
That's ridiculous. Okay, what is Demobs again?
Okay, Madame Demobs, the story centers on the troubled marriage of a scrupulous American wife and a far from scrupulous French husband.
Is it a telenovela?
It's a novella.
Oh.
And is told mostly from the point of view of a male friend of the wife. Sounds like The Great Gatsby.
Honestly.
The tale reflects the intense interest James took in the international theme, especially early in his career. One of the longest fictions he had yet attempted, smoothly narrated story shows that James was rapidly maturing in style and technique. Okay, we don't really give a fuck about that.
Actually, no, we should. Because it says that we see slighted the mobs and that far different she, which means that the narrator is saying that she, Mrs. Cave, is far different than the mobs.
So she's not troubled in her marriage.
Nope.
Okay, so that means her marriage with
possibly
the old dandy is a good one. Good.
Well, good for her, I guess.
Yeah, good for her.
Gressie, the trivial sphinx. Who's Gressie? I don't know.
Okay, should I add another thing?
No.
Actually, I'll look up Gressie. I'll look up who this person is.
It's capitalized, so it must be a person.
Gressie the Sphinx? Okay.
No.
How do you spell it?
It's a Gressie, like Jessie, but with a GR.
Okay.
It's
Gressie.
not. Gressie isn't the Sphinx. I think he's calling Gressie a Sphinx, if I'm right.
Okay. Oh my god, it's Gressie the Trivial Sphinx.
Oh my god, really?
And our feast Daisy, Barb, and the Chancellor.
He's referencing another literate...
It's from Underwoods by Robert Louis Stevenson, Henry James. Same fucking author.
So he's referencing the same author.
It's a poem with slighted demod. Okay, hold on. Henry James. Who comes tonight? We ope the doors in vain. Who comes? My bursting walls can you contain? The presence is that now together throng your narrow entry as with flowers and song. As with the air of life, the breath of talk, lo, how these fair, immaculate women walk behind their jocund maker. It's a direct quote.
Oh!
Their jocund maker, and we see slighted demobs, and that far different she, Gressie the trivial sphinx, and our feast Daisy and Barb and Chancellor, she not least. With all their silken and all their airy kin, do the unbidden angels enter in, but he, attended by these shining names, comes best of all himself, our welcome James.
He quoted it.
He quoted it directly.
Why then? Oh my god. What's his name again? Henry James?
Henry James. And, okay, so I can't tell if this is by... I think this is by Robert Louis Stevenson about Henry James, the author, and it's a poem. But it's same time period, because Robert James lived between 1850 and 1894. So it's same time period.
He is talking about James, because remember when I said, because there's a line that says, yes, by James. James, lo, how these fair... This is a direct quote.
Wait, is Henry James?
James is the quote. Not what he's saying. You know what I mean? Like, the quote starts at, yes, by James, and it ends at, the trivial sphinx. I wrote the quotation marks, if you can tell.
Let's see. Yes, by James. Love how these fair immaculate women walk behind their jocund maker. We see slighted demobs and his trivial sphinx. Okay, so yes, by James. Okay, so he's talking about. She says this, and she's talking about this poem. That is either by Robert Louis Stevenson or Henry James. I'm banking on it being Henry James. I don't know who it's by.
Can you look up the poem and, like, say author?
Yeah, it's on... Okay.
I need to read the rest of it.
When should I rehearse Underwood's Henry James? What the fuck is this? Oh,
So,
out.
while you're looking, they stop the quote, and now the narrator says that they're at a banquet.
Okay, it looks like it's part of a book. So is Robert Louis Stevenson referencing something that Henry James, our welcome James, comes best of all himself, our welcome James. So, are they comparing someone to the Henry James referenced in this poem as our welcome James?
That is so confusing.
Or are they saying that the poem is by or connected to Henry James that they're referencing?
I think connected to.
Torquemada! Oh boy. Okay, so I think this is by Robert Louis Stevenson.
By Robert Louis Stevenson.
A shout out to the Literature Network for having this so handy as the first website that I came across that referenced this. Oh, okay. For people who don't know what the Cain's Jawbone mystery by Torquemada is, because I realized we didn't tell you guys what it was, because we've already kind of been working on it, so we just kind of jumped right in, is that the Cain's Jawbone mystery is a book written by Torquemada. I don't know when. Do you know when it was written?
It's the 40s?
The 40s. Okay.
Hold on.
So it was written roughly in the 40s, probably. We don't really know.
Let me look
But
it up.
it was written by this guy named Torquemada. It's Cain's Jawbone mystery, and only 3 people in the world, I think, currently.
4, actually.
4.
A fourth person.
A fourth
Yeah.
person. 4 people in the world have solved it currently. And all of the pages are out of order, and you have to reorder them. And there's also multiple killers and multiple victims that you have to find. And it's a devil to solve. And we've already been through... How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Roughly 12 pages.
Oh, yeah.
13.
So it was... Only 4 people have ever solved it since its publishing in 1934. So in the 30s. I was kind of close.
So this was, at the time it was released, was written in the time period.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Pretty much.
So that's why there are so many references, because people would actually get these references.
Yeah.
If they were reading the book during the time.
Yeah, the people who were reading it in that time period would have actually been able to solve this a lot better than we have right now.
Oh my goodness gracious. So I guess we can't get too mad at Torquemada for including all the obscure crap that he did.
I guess not.
But it's still very tempting.
Very.
Also, for reference, our setup is 2 cork boards, a lot of string, and post-it notes.
We are on the ground of my bedroom. Just
Yeah.
like, I'm laying down right now because I have no energy. Torquemada sucked it all out of me.
I am sitting on the floor, hugging my knees to my chest, bewildered at the complexity of just trying to figure out this one reference.
Okay, back to it. So,
Okay, back to it.
the last quote, the last thing that he says is actually the most interesting for me. Is he says, "Can she be guilty?" The only only person that he's talking about is Mrs. Cave,
Mrs.
a possible murderer.
Okay, so
Remember
Mrs. Cave, possible murderer.
Says page 30 right then.
Okay. Suspect of narrator, good marriage. So does Mrs. Cave reference Henry James then?
I feel like the narrator is saying this.
Really? Because didn't he say, and Mrs. Cave something said da 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 da.
Well, here, tell me if this makes sense. He is clutched unwillingly into greeting old Mrs. Cave, our local dame, quickly. They mince at one another, and then the quote starts. Yes, by James. James? Lo, yeah.
Okay, so this is Mrs. Cave talking to the old dandy.
Okay.
This is their conversation then.
Nice.
So they together reference Henry James.
And then they go into the night from a loud banquet. So they were in a banquet before this.
Okay, so they were outside of the banquet. Narrator overheard them. They went inside.
Then she urges the narrator into the American mess. Can you look that up?
Okay.
I feel like that's not just something.
I feel like that's just an England jab at Americans.
Probably, but I'd still want to look it up just in case.
He's talking about politics?
I don't even know.
It's the 1930s, so it's very possible he means politics. No, it's just giving me definitions for the word mess.
Never mind, it's okay. I think we have everything we need in this page. If not, then there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be mad.
And old dandy reference Henry James.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. Where's the...
Okay, so Mrs. Keith is up. Narrator, who we know jack all about. The only people who have less on their cards than the narrator are Jack and Ruth. Or actually, no, just Jack. Ruth has stuff on theirs as well.
Okay, next page.
Okay.
Page 28.
Page 28.
I found myself by that one of the windows which overlooked the stone brooch spire, a rarity in Kent, of Plucky Church, and the light would strike my book from over my right shoulder. I drew a volume from my pocket. A blind tooled on the green in a double circle was a single star above what was perhaps a sea. Can we draw that? Can we draw that?
We should, but also, I'll start sketching it really quick. But also, that reminds me of, didn't he say on one of the pages, didn't he mention, this was one of the ones we went over last time, didn't he mention a school and going to an old castle school with the head, and it was near a church, which is where we were first introduced to Ruth, and one of the old dudes that may just be the same old dude may just be Sir Roland Mawthorne right on over there.
Green, white, and roses are school colors, apparently. That's a good theory. Can you write it down?
Okay, so this is... theory is that this is the school.
Yeah. The school. That's mentioned on page 66.
The school on 66. And then next to the church. So geographically, we're getting some hints. It just feels like a small town.
It does. It feels like a small town.
Next to church, and then so he's sitting in a tower, kind of.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so this is a castle-esque.
And he's sitting by one of the windows, and it overlooked the stone brooch spire, a rarity in Kent, of Plucky Church.
So they're in Kent.
Kent, it's capitalized. Is that a city?
Okay, that is a city.
Okay.
I know this. I remember this bit. So Kent is an actual place, I believe.
So they are in
Kentucky. Kent, yeah. It's in southeast England.
Nice. So
it's one of the home counties. It borders on Greater London to the northwest, Surrey to the west, and East Sussex to the east, presumably.
So they're in Kent right now.
They are in Kent. So apparently they're in Kent. Kent is known as the Garden of England. It's got castles. Famous for its food and drink production, and most recently wine. As much as we love gardens in Kent, however, there's much more to this country. We don't care. Okay.
Okay.
So,
can you...
Kent is apparently also a part of this.
Yeah. Of Plucky Church.
Kent.
Church. I can't say church very well. Church. Church.
Oh, it just got bright. The
Yeah.
clouds parted.
Well, at least now it makes our board look a bit cooler.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. We should try to draw the top of this.
We should.
Okay. Do you want to do it?
Okay, yeah. Okay. I'll start sketching.
So it's described as... So he drew a volume from his pocket, so it's a small book. And there's a blind tooled on the green in a double circle was a single star above what was perhaps a sea.
Okay, so it's a book... It's a small volume, so it's a small book.
It's blind tooled on a green in a double circle.
Blind tooled on a green.
In a double circle was a single star. Above was perhaps a sea.
Double circle, single star. Above was a sea. Question mark, so we're gonna add some pearls in there so what it looks like. Perhaps a sea. And then green?
Yeah.
Question mark.
I have had very little experience of it myself up to the present. I have only been married once. Ooh!
Married?
He's only been married once!
He's been married.
Ooh, can you write that down?
Okay, narrator has been married.
I have only been married once. That was in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person. He didn't say young woman. Sorry, Circumana. And I wondered if such a reason for marriage would ever had occurred to me. I had never married.
I'm sorry, what?
I had only been married once. I had never married. And scarcely felt like beginning now.
Okay, so he'd been married once.
But he said he had never married.
No, he had never married, but he'd been married once, which makes it sound like he never tried to marry someone, but someone had tried to marry him. Involuntary marriage, question mark?
And scarcely felt like beginning now. He kind of feels like getting married.
What?
He feels like getting married. You don't have to write it down.
No, he doesn't. He says he doesn't feel like getting married.
No.
He scarcely feels
scarcely.
like beginning now.
Oh my god. Stop okay, yeah. I totally know what scarcely means. It left my brain for a second. It was the 10th edition of 1917. No, sir.
Is he talking with someone?
Is that the title? No, sir. The
Wait,
10th
where's the
edition
paper
of
with the book on it
1917.
go? There it is.
Look.
Okay.
It's the 10th edition of the 1917 volume. No, sir. That's how I see it.
Okay, let me look that up.
No, comma, sir. 1917 10th edition.
Okay. No, comma, sir. 1917 10th edition. Enter. Oh, Cain's Jawbone depictions. Okay, apparently this is just a Cain's Jawbone thing again. We're gonna go to images and see what the hell he's talking about. Oh, found it.
What?
Okay, so apparently he's talking about this book has double circle with a star and what was perhaps a C, so it's worn lettering above it. So look, because it's the double circle with the star in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was perhaps a C? How was it spelled? Was it a C letter or a C?
No,
as in S-E-A?
like C-S-E-A.
Oh yeah, so it's inside the thing.
Oh, and I see it. Look, it's an Oscar Wilde. It's a collection of Oscar Wilde.
Oh, it's Oscar Wilde.
Can you visit that? Can you visit the picture where that website came from?
Oscar Wilde was gay, by the way.
Oh, totally. I totally believe it. Oscar Wilde.
I'm pretty sure it was. Anyway, he got arrested for being gay a few times. This is just a thing for buying the complete collection. Hey, you want to buy a complete collection of Oscar Wilde's works?
Let's do it.
So it's a C with a star above it in a double circle. The Duchess of Powder, Oscar Wilde. Yeah, so this is just a one, and it's on green, like, fabric.
So he's reading Oscar Wilde.
He's reading Oscar Wilde. Okay, so that's solved. This is Oscar Wilde.
I never think of myself. I never think of it myself. Not a woman has entered as yet. It was in for a ticklish business, and I knew it. Is he a virgin? No woman has entered yet.
Oh boy.
No.
This man just sounds gay.
I'm
gonna
in,
be honest.
I was in for a ticklish business, and I knew it. Forging ahead, I would suppose they would call it, since the woman was not yet dead. You might not hear of her again. Who's the woman?
Who is the... What do you mean?
Who's the woman?
Guess that woman.
Where in the world is Clement?
Okay. I gotta redraw this cover now because we know that it's different. And it is green. There's a link to the picture. I want to save this picture, kind of. It's first edition. It's not 10th edition.
It says... You just said addiction.
But it says on here it's first edition.
But it says 10th edition on here, so he has the 10th edition of Oscar Wilde's books.
Torquemada.
Ah.
Come on, man. Killing us over here.
I think that's his job.
Yeah. Okay, so now you have Carmen Sandiego stuck in your head.
I do. I think that's copyright.
Yeah, don't sing more than 10 seconds of that, or I'm gonna have to edit all of it out.
Wait, that means I can't sing while we're doing this?
You can sing songs, just no more than 10 seconds of them.
No, I might as well not even sing then.
I didn't even realize there was a humidifier in here, and then I just heard glubbing, and I was like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. I get, like, my room gets really, 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 really dry in here when it's winter.
Oscar.
Not everyone in the world knows that I have a humidifier in my room. What are they going to do with that information?
Probably nothing. Unless, if this blows up and we start getting fan mail, imagine if someone sent you a humidifier.
I'd like a Hello Kitty themed one, please. This one's looking a little basic.
You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Valdez wants a Hello
Don't use
Kitty.
my full name.
Hello, you said it at the beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah, I did.
Hello Kitty themed humidifier.
I did. I forgot about that.
As soon as we get a P.O. box, we'll tell you guys what the address is so you can all send her Hello Kitty themed humidifiers.
Yes, please. Also, a Hello Kitty themed toaster, rice cooker, bed sheets.
Everything Hello Kitty themed. Send her the full Hello Kitty themed care package.
Have you seen that Hello Kitty a collaboration with Pusheen? Now that is something I want. Oh, I had such a huge Pusheen phase.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, stop making me talk about myself. Okay, that's our last page. Now it's time to eat.
Okay, hold on. I gotta pin this up because I did the drawing of the thing, and now I gotta put that this is here now. Don't get us sued, Jason.
Sorry, that's why I stopped myself.
Only 10 seconds, only brief references.
Sorry.
Copyright laws. Okay, so Oscar Wilde was a thing that he read, and it's this edition specifically.
Wait, don't put it up here then. We gotta put it, that's where all the characters go to.
Okay.
We'll
Put it over there then. Oh, we forgot to put this down as well. There's another thing.
What
Is this
other thing?
one. It's the same page.
Okay.
It's just that we're established that we're in Kent now.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to Two Kids in a Book. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Bye!